What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammett, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why do narcissists blame their narcissistic rage on you? Why don't they take accountability when they're yelling and screaming and raging out? Anyway, y'all, stay tuned, like and subscribe. Yes, in order to deal with the shame after narcissistic rage, a lot of narcissistic people will absolutely blame you for their reactions, blame you for their rage, blame you for how they are acting or behaving in this moment, because if you wouldn't have done what you did to me, I wouldn't be behaving the way I am right now. So it's your fault. You did this. Like what? So if you've ever experienced narcissistic rage, you understand, like, after the narcissistic person gets done yelling and screaming at you or doing whatever they've done to you, there is a period of shame that seeps into the narcissist's pores. It's like toxic Noxzema or a Stridex pad that washes all over our face and body or something like that. And it makes us feel horrible and worthless and guilty inside. And in order to get rid of that guilt and that shame, they have to blame you. It's your fault. I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for them. So they deserve that anger. They deserve that rage. They caused this, not me. So yeah, welcome back. So if you couldn't read the text on the screen, it said, and they will forever blame that narcissistic rage on the other person, saying it's our behavior that made them act that way. It's scary. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, it absolutely can be scary. It's one of those things when you're dealing with narcissistic people. Narcissistic rage is almost one of the, I'm pretty sure, like, other than the actual word narcissist or narcissistic, narcissistic rage is probably one of the most well-known terms or phrases that people know when you're talking about toxic relationships or abusive relationships, emotionally abusive relationships and spaces like that. It's just in that space right there, you know? So being toxic and abusive, like I said, narcissistic rage is probably one of the most well-known terms. And during rage, narcissistic people lose their minds. They're yelling, they're screaming, they're beating on their chest, they're trying to posture. They might actually hurt you. They might throw things at you, hit you, yelling and screaming, saying the meanest things that they could, weaponizing your trauma against you, doing all kinds of things, y'all, just to hurt you in that space, because they got hurt somehow. The narcissistic person somehow got hurt. And when I say hurt, I use it very loosely, because it's not hard to hurt a narcissist. It's kind of very easy. You might have criticized something that they were wearing or something that they had on, and you see it, and then like they rage out on you because you don't like their shoes. You don't like them wearing a fitted suit with some Crocs or something along those lines, and now they're super angry. Little Crocs, but it happens. But the reason that they blame it on you is because after the rage subsides, y'all, narcissistic people there's so much shame. Like, the rage fills up the narcissistic void, right? Let's just say the rage fills up the narcissistic void. But when the rage subsides, the void is empty. So it automatically, almost immediately fills with shame. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, it automatically immediately fills up with shame. Like, that void is empty now. It's the void. Like, so the rage is gone, so it's empty. So here comes shame. And shame, ooh boy, shame is just it's so powerful when you deal with narcissists and toxic people. Shame is just one of those things, y'all, that it's again, shame is almost synonymous with narcissistic people, narcissistic abuse. You know, it's one of those things. Like, shame is synonymous with narcissistic abuse. So it's just like they get filled with shame, and in order to let the shame like dissipate or leave, it's easier to blame you. Because if I can blame you for the rage, I have a reason behind it, then I'm not as ashamed of my actions, because you caused my actions. You caused my behaviors to shift, because if you wouldn't have said this, or if you wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't have said this and done this. So in all, it's your fault. You see how simplistic and wild that can be right there. How wild sounding that can be. I acted this way because you pushed my buttons. I act in this way because you hurt my feelings. I'm acting this way because you are manipulative. You are the narcissist. This right here is not narcissistic rage. It's reactive abuse. I'm reacting to your abuse. And then that confuses the hell out of you, don't it? That confuses the hell out of you, because you start thinking about it. Because if they say it in a tone, or they convey it to you in a way, you can start to believe it, won't you? You know, you can absolutely start to believe what is actually going on now. You can start to believe that their narcissistic rage, where they're yelling and screaming and hitting you and doing stuff like that, you can believe that as reactive abuse. But you have to think deeply right here. What actually caused this rage? Did you come to them and just say, hey, look, I caught you cheating and I'm leaving? Then they started raging out on you. Then they started yelling and screaming at you. Then they started trying to hurt you or harm you. That's not reactive abuse, y'all. That's narcissistic rage. Intent matters. What's the intent here? How do we really get here? You know, but in order, like, so as a narcissist, but in order to shake loose of the shame that I feel for yelling and screaming at you, the shame that I feel for raging out on you, I have to blame you. I have to put it onto you. I have to try to hurt you or harm you in some way. I have to put it on. I just have to shake loose of it. And this is not me trying to justify any type of actions, y'all. I'm just trying to give y'all the reasons behind it. Yeah, I have to get rid of it. The shame is unbearable. It just is. It's one of those things. It's shame is wildness, y'all. So I just feel like you have to deal with narcissistic people. Like, get away from the rage. If you see a narcissistic person raging out, don't engage with them, y'all. Don't fan the flames. A lot of times it's better for you to just, not try to fight back in these situations. Now, I don't tell you not to defend yourself. Now, defend yourself. Be safe. But if you don't want the rage, sometimes they can get really, really scary and be trying to harm you. You don't want to escalate that. Look up ways to de-escalate a narcissist. That's a good video topic right there. De-escalating a narcissist. See, that's why I love talking to y'all, because like, as much as y'all learn from me, I promise you, y'all say y'all learn from me, I promise you I learn more from y'all. I promise I do. This is me talking to y'all. It's like we having a personal conversation in my kitchen right now, or my living room on the couch. And I'm telling you, it's just like, look, you gotta get good at de-escalating tactics. You see the police are supposed to be good at de-escalating, but you see a lot of videos online about situations getting escalated because cops get angry. Cops are humans and they just lose their damn minds. We're not gonna get into the cop situation, but that's the easiest situation right there. Hostage negotiators have to learn to de-escalate situations. So it's pretty much like narcissistic people, when they are raging, they're raging emotional terrorists. And you are, and they've taken your emotions hostage. So you have to negotiate a release. So you have to negotiate a release of your emotions by de-escalating the situation. You say, just they act like the narcissist has hostages, and you go from there. Work your way back from freeing the hostages, which are your emotions. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna cut this thing short. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all being here. Super thankful for y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe for more. And of course, y'all, mental illness is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video, y'all. If you didn't know, we wrote a kids book called Remember It's Not Your Fault, to help kids understand that they are not in control of whatever circumstances they were born into. Talk about boundaries, telling them the truth, all of that stuff, y'all. It's available on Amazon right now, or the link in my description of every single video or podcast that you listen to. Thank you so much. Remember, it's not your fault. Peace.